welcome to my dungeon. I have a story for you today. Ha ha ha. I like going to the gym. Who would have thunk? If you told Kate 10 years ago you're gonna be a gym rat one day, I'd look at you like you had two heads. He wants to sit in my lap. Out of all the places, there is an entire bed. You want to sit here? Alas, I know I don't look like, when you hear gym rat, I imagine a dude that looks like he's so jacked that like a smaller guy is coming out of his shoulders. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not that, all right? Oh my God. Okay, you go there. So I like going to the gym. And throughout the years with me, I think I started going to the gym in like 2016. And when I started going to the gym, I was like, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds. Ma'am, if you lost 20 pounds, you'd only be drinking water and egg whites and you'd be having diarrhea every single day, okay? Not healthy. But at the time, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds. I'm gonna be so skinny. And then that never happened. And I was like, why am I failing at the gym? And then finally something clicked in my head and I was like, what if I didn't do it to get skinny? What if I did it to get yoked, ripped? This is not the point of the story. The point of the story today is I'm going to tell you about my stories of people that I have come across at the gym. For starters, there was one time I got approached by a man who walked over to me. This is the beginning of my journey, right? This is the beginning of my journey. So the first time I ever got approached by a man at the gym was at my very first gym. We'll call the gym A. There was this trainer, this new trainer that was walking around the gym apparently. And he walked over to me and a person that I was seeing at the time and they was like, hey bro, make sure your girl eats steak and eggs. And I was like, excuse me? He wouldn't look at me. He didn't talk to me. He was just talking to hey, make sure your girl eats steak and eggs, bro. Protein, get that steak and eggs. I swear to God, this happened and I just sit there like this. Because who does that? Especially a trainer walks up, doesn't even acknowledge that you're there, but talks about you in third person. It was just weird. The whole thing was just weird. At the same gym, I don't know what this machine is called. It's where you have two little pads inside your legs and you squeeze them and then your legs open back up and then you squeeze them. Do I know the lingo? No. I called goblet squats goblin squats the other day. Goblin. This guy walked past me, right? And as he walked past me, he's like slowly backed up and then stood there like this. Like hand propped up on the railing, looking at my crotch as I was going, eat, ooh, mm-mm. And so then I immediately stopped. I just sat there and I was like, ugh. So then as I was waiting for him to walk away because I was like, maybe he just came back to check his phone. He was waiting for me to continue. So I got up, grabbed my bag, went to the front desk because I had a friend that worked there and I was like, hey, friendo, there's a man that's staring at my crotch and I want to go home. And then later found out that it was a homeless person that got into the gym and they were looking at women and gym, woo! And then I go to a new gym and this new gym was kind of stinky. Like it was small and it was stinky. That was the first thing I noticed when I walked in, but it was in a good location and it had everything I needed. And I was like, I will go to this gym. Count your blessings, all right? I got to go to a gym and it was a gym that I could deal with and it was cheap. And I was like, oh, this is great. So one day I'm on the treadmill. I get on the, put on my headphones and I had a friend with me. We'll just call my friend Egg. So my friend Egg is working out on a machine in front of me and I'm on the treadmill. I'm like, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. And I have Bose noise canceling headphones, right? That is I have had them for forever. They are fantastic. I love working out in them. And I feel someone tap on my shoulder. And I was like, well, I can see Egg. It's not Egg. And I was like, maybe my shoe's untied. Maybe my music is too loud. Maybe somebody walked up from behind me and stole my wallet out of my duffel bag. I don't know. So I take off my headset and there's a man on the treadmill next to me and he's like, hey. So I was like, hey. And this man was like, how are you doing? He was like my age, all right, but I am 31, so I am woman, and then that man, and then it's, you know. So anyway, this dude just starts talking to me, and I was like, I was in the middle of my treadmill time, and I had my headphones on. In the middle of the conversation, just goes, you're really cute. Can I get your number? And I was like, what if I got a boyfriend? And then I was like, well, do I make one up? Do I say, yes, I have one? So I panic, right? Because I don't give my number out for no one. Usually you just swap socials and hope for the best. Like you become ultimate friends when you swap numbers. This is a strange man. And he tapped me on the shoulder when I was working out and you don't do that. I panic and I was like, oh, I don't give out my number. I'm sorry. And he goes, oh, then can I have your Instagram? And I was like, sure, because I figured, you know, Instagram, I don't really get DMs anyway because it gets flooded and people are weird and blah 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 anyway, but I was like, yeah, sure, Instagram. It was really weird. granted, I didn't try to start conversations, but it was just really weird. The whole situation was just kind of weird, and I felt really awkward, you know, because like then I did start seeing someone, and then it was like a big whole thing because it's like I went to a different gym after that one, and the gym that I went to after that one was wonderful. It was an incredible, incredible gym, except for the fact that someone would poop on the sidewalk more than once. Like I'd walk out and there'd be a log, like a full grown human log. And I would be like, all right, cool. And then like 2 weeks later, poop is gone, but there's other ones, and I mean like poop, 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 right? Like, you know, it wasn't like a log. It's like they didn't get enough water. Ooh, I'm gonna stop that. I don't know what letter we're on. There was gym A, and then now we're on like gym G. I don't know, but there was so much poop. And I'm like, who is pooping? Who is this pooper? Mr. Poopster, who is doing this? It was disgusting. But anyway, after that gym, I went to a new gym, and this new gym was super cool. It had like all this cool stuff set up. It had cool lights and everything, and I was like, I like this gym. There was a man there who was weird, and everyone just ignored him. He was on something. I don't know what he was on. I don't think it was life. I'm gonna tell you that much, all right? Because he would be sitting there, say he's working out like triceps or something. So he's at like the cable tricep machine. He'd be standing there and he'd be like, that really hurt. It was weird. You think I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. I'm not. He acted like that every time. And he'd sit there and then he'd be like kicking his foot in the air. And then he'd just start Michael Jackson humping the air. And I'm like, why is everyone acting like this is normal? Like, am I hallucinating? Am I hallucinating this man? Have I been to any gyms? Is it in the air? Is it the lights? Are they putting something in the air filters? I don't know. It was just weird. It made me really uncomfortable too, because he would like flick his tongue out and it just, ugh. Keep that little wiggly thing in your mouth. Then after that gym, I switched to a different gym because that gym was just it didn't have everything I wanted. It was really busy, and it also was very hot and kind of stinky. I just went to a different gym. Perfection. Everything about that gym was wonderful, but it was really far away. There's far, and then there's like, oh, I don't want to go. It was like that kind of far. And so I got to a point where I was like, all right, I should just go to a different gym. So I did. I went to a different gym, and this gym was freshly built, and I was like, wow, this is great. The only downside is because it was freshly built, there were still roads that they fully put signs up and stuff. I almost got hit by cars. Every single time I went to the gym, I would almost get hit by a car because they would ignore the bad put stop sign, and that I would almost get hit by a car. And you know what I would do? Every single time, you're the car. Ready? You're just pretend you're about to hit me. Listen, I'm non-confrontational, right? I don't like confrontation. Can I speak English? I don't like staring at people. I don't even like looking at people, to be honest. Like, it freaks me out. Sometimes but I didn't care. You almost hit me with your car. I'm gonna give you the death stare. Anyway, so other than that being a factor, I would go into this gym, and it didn't matter what time. If I got there at 8 a.m., the latest I would go would be at noon. It didn't matter what time. Every time I went to that gym, every single time, it would be so busy, there'd be not a single machine open. There'd be a line by the machines, and I'm like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. This sucks. And I don't mean in the sense of like, I'm not going to the gym. Like, obviously I love going to the gym, and at this point I've really found a passion for it, you know? I really, really, really like it. And you may be like, Kate, how did you get to that point? For one, I changed my mindset. Instead of being like, I need to be skinny, I was like, I want to get muscle, so I changed my mindset. Two, I kind of just got into the rhythm, kind of like how you get into the rhythm of like brushing your teeth, washing your hair, whatever you could do where it's just like, oh, I gotta do this. Oh, I gotta charge my phone. Oh, I gotta put away the dishes. Oh, I gotta feed my cat. So now we're at our final gym, because at the gym I gave up. Too many people I gave up. So I went to a different gym, and this, I walked in, and it was big, it was massive, and the only people in there were old men, and I was like, this is great! Until it wasn't. There was one man, this is still an active, ongoing situation, so hope you're enjoying the story. I call him Bobby, because he kind of looks like Bobby Singer from Supernatural. So anyway, I noticed him in the gym, and usually I pick up people that I notice in the gym just to like mentally have gym friends. Am I gonna be friends with like a 69-year-old man? Probably not, but like in my head, I'm like, hey, it's Bobby. Anyway, Bobby made talking to me, he became real. He perceived me, and that became a problem. But it started out so simple. It started out so peacefully, so simple, so easy peasy, and it was funny. So I was at this bench, and there were a bunch of weights in front of me, and I was sitting there, I had my headphones on, and I just see this man waddle up next to me, and he points at these weights, and I thought he was pointing at the weights above, which are something that I could lift and something a man could probably lift. So I moved my headset, I'm like, oh, I'm not using them. He goes, oh, you're the 95? And I was like, sorry? does he want me to get them for him? I was like, what is happening? And he goes, oh, are you using the 95? And I don't know what my brain decided, just went, I got this. And I was like, oh, not today. I said something, to be honest. It happened a while ago, but I was like, oh, not today. Or I just finished. I said something along those lines. Listen, I'm really tired. Bobby laughed and laughed. He thought I was so funny. Oh, clever, you know, walked away. So when I go to the gym, my hair is back like this. I know, forehead. And no makeup. I look like a 20-year-old boy. Like, I look like, Axe body spray. Anyway, and it doesn't matter. It's the gym. We're there to get, you know? So that was the first experience I had with Bobby. And then as kept happening over and over and over. Every time I was at the gym and every time he was there, I'd wander over. You using those 100-pound weights? Oh, just finished. All yours. You know, there used to be 120-pound weights. Me. Oh my God, no way, really? I don't even know the dude's name. I just call him Bobby. He doesn't even know my name. I know what you're thinking. Kate, he's just being friendly. I agree. He is being friendly. And I think it's funny. You know, it's not like I see him in the gym and I'm like, ugh, not again. I'm like, oh, in my head, I'm like, I gotta come up with another funny thing. You know, I gotta do a funny. Anyway, until the one fateful day, I took my good friend with me and we go in and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do this. Do you wanna do this here? Save the bench. He's like, yeah, I got it. And I was like, cool. And then I see Bobby out of the corner of my eye and I'm like, okay, maybe because I'm here with a dude, he's gonna feel like I shouldn't talk to her, you know? He didn't talk to me. I set the weights down, I turn around, and I see Bobby talking to my friend. And my first thought is a word that I cannot say. In my head, I was like, dag nabbit, gosh darn it. So anyway, I start walking over and I start taking my headset off and I just hear them both, And then Bobby walks away, doesn't say nothing to me. And I look at my friend, I'm like, you good? And he's like, yep. And I'm like, okay. We finish our workout and then we go to the treadmill. And I was like, hey, what'd Bobby say to you? And he goes, yeah, he he asked if you were my sister. And I was like, oh. And then he goes, yeah. And I said, no. And he goes, beautiful girl. And then it was silence. Like, it was silent. And then Bobby goes, oh yeah, so did you see, you know, the other day she was in here, I saw her the other day in here lifting 100-pound weight, and that's when I came over, because when I walked over, I was like, ooh, when they were talking, and then they walked off. But anyway, so I guess right when he saw me walking over is when he changed the subject to me lifting weights and being super strong or whatever, and I came over with the perfect timing, because I went, ooh. Now that Bobby has perceived me. At first, it was fine. I thought it was just like, oh, maybe I remind him of his, like, granddaughter, or daughter. I'm 31. Ooh. I still possibly could. Someone being called, you know, beautiful girl doesn't necessarily mean anything. But it's just like the being perceived, and then also I don't look like that when I'm not a beautiful girl when I'm at the gym. I am just She-Hulk Helga when I'm at the gym. That I also am not that yoked, but I'm working on it. It's just hard eating so much protein, you know? That's my story about the gym. If you want to go to the gym, you got it. If I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for listening to my story. Hope you have a fantastic day and safe travels. Goodbye.